Welcome back. Now back to that story. The city of Edna, the family of Elizabeth Medina are remembering her life 1 year after her murder.
Can't believe it's been 1 year, but it is. And 25 News Now reporter Trent Whiting joins us with the timeline of events surrounding Elizabeth's death.
Thursday, December 5th, marked the 1-year anniversary for the death of 16-year-old Elizabeth Medina. Her accused killer, Rafael Romero, is near the start of his legal proceedings after police say he confessed to the crime.
When it comes to the gravity of what he did, I think the appropriate thing for him would be the death penalty, in my eyes.
Elizabeth was a 16-year-old high school student in Edna, finishing up a fall football semester as an Edna High School cheerleader.
She was not only an angel, she was an angel here on earth, and she's an angel now.
Romero was a 23-year-old, serving probation for a felony burglary charge and staying in Schulenburg with an expired work visa. Elizabeth and her mother Jacqueline lived in an apartment in the small town. On November 13th, that apartment was burglarized, and police say the crime may have been connected to the murder. The police also believe Romero stalked Elizabeth after the burglary. Just a few weeks later, a silver Ford Taurus belonging to Romero drove through the apartment complex on the night of December 4th. The next night, the city of Edna planned to hold their lighted Christmas parade. Elizabeth and the Edna cheerleaders were scheduled to march in the parade, and her mother Jacqueline was excited to see her daughter participate in the yearly tradition. Mental alarm bells went off when Jacqueline did not see her daughter with the rest of the cheer squad.
And I knew right away something was wrong.
Even more questionable was the fact none of her friends or cheer coach had seen her at school that day. Jacqueline sent a text to her daughter, to which Elizabeth did not respond. A group of Elizabeth's friends accompanied Jacqueline to her home, where they called out Elizabeth's name in hope she was there. Jacqueline found her daughter, dead, strewn out in the back bedroom's bathtub. Her clothes were soaked, and she had visible stab wounds in her upper stomach area. The community held a candlelight vigil in her memory a few nights later, and her family in Nebraska held her funeral on December 12th.
I was shocked, and I grabbed my clothes and everything in less than 5 minutes, and I said, I'm ready. I need to be with my sister now.
But while her family laid her to rest, the police were hoping to make arrests. They used a string of disturbing details to follow the trail. For one, a man later identified as Romero was seen running to a silver Taurus from near the apartment the morning of Elizabeth's murder. The second piece of evidence, an anecdote from a neighbor, claiming they heard 2 loud thuds and water running in the shower. A story that could explain the state in which Elizabeth was found. Finally, authorities say the suspect used Elizabeth's cell phone to respond to a friend that texted her the same night as the vigil. He also responded to Elizabeth's boyfriend at the time in the same manner. Both feared that Romero was targeting them as well. Authorities tracked the phone to Schulenburg, where they found the familiar silver Ford Taurus in front of a mobile home. A Texas Ranger confronted Romero, leading to a confession from the leading suspect. Police arrested Romero and searched his room, finding Elizabeth's wallet and several other personal identifiers. While in custody, Edna PD was awarded an ICE detainer after initially being denied. Now, Romero sits in the Jackson County Jail, waiting for his inevitable court proceedings in lieu of $2 million bond. Those proceedings have seen some delays and surprises. In February of this year, a grand jury indicted him of potential capital murder, believing there was enough evidence to take to court. In March, he did not attend his arraignment trial, shocking and frustrating Jacqueline, who had flown in from her home in Nebraska, where she moved after the horrific event. It was also where the family hosted a protest in Elizabeth's honor, pleading for the alleged killer's punishment.
She was all I had, and I was all she had.
A few days later, the defense filed a motion to have Romero evaluated for insanity by a behavioral health professional. The defense stayed active, claiming that the search of Romero's room, his arrest, and statements were illegally gained. They also claimed that the officer failed to read the Miranda rights warning to Romero before his arrest. These motions have yet to yield fruit, and the trial is still set to begin on its new date, February 10th.
Till the day comes that this monster gets what he deserves, we can start to at least grieve a little bit.
The family has felt support from the Edna community as well as their home in Nebraska. Edna created a scholarship for cheerleaders at the high school and hope Elizabeth's legacy continues on.
That's why we're here, because we are her voice. She's no longer here. We have to be her voice.
Lisbeth's family hopes that day will lead to the justice they've been searching for since her loss.
Once the trial is over, that's just the beginning of our journey, because this will not ever happen to another mother. We will make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Trenton Whiting, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.